Hello everyone. I am Professor Alok K. Kulkarni, working as an assistant professor in the Department of Electrical and Electronics Engineering, Angadi Institute of Technology and Management, Belagavi. So in this session, we are going to start with a new course, that is Electrical and Electronics Measurement, and the course subject code is 18EE36. So let us see what all the course. As I already said, the course name is Electrical and Electronics Instrument, which is a foundation course for third semester Electrical and Electronics Engineering department, and the subject code is 18EE36. So let us see what are the various course objective for this particular subject. So course objective CO1, that is, in this CO1 the students will be able to measure the resistance value, inductance and capacitance values of various equipment with the help of different bridges. And also in this particular course subject, the students will be able to determine the earth resistance. And in second objective, course objective CO2, here the students will be able to study the construction and working of various meters which are used for the measurement purpose. In third course objective, the students will be able to study the adjustment, calibration and errors in energy meter and methods of extending the range of instruments. In fourth course objective, the students will be able to have a brief knowledge about how the electronic instruments works, display devices and recorders. So in CO1, the students will be able to understand how to measure the resistance, inductance and capacitance of various equipments in sense it may be a fan, it may be a television, it may be a computer, it may be a refrigerator, like so on. Any electrical equipments, for those electrical equipments the students will be able to understand how to measure the resistance, inductance and capacitance with the help of different methods. We are going to measure these values in this particular CO1 or in this particular course object. And along with that, the student will be able to determine the resistance of earth with the help of some other method. In course objective 2, that is CO2, here the student will be able to understand in brief the construction and working of various meters. Okay, so if I tell meters, so which are used for measuring certain parameter. Okay, so let us take an uh, example of measuring the temperature of human body. So if you want to measure the temperature of a human body, so the instrument we are going to use is a thermometer. So with the help of thermometer we are going to measure the temperature of human body's temperature, is it so? So likewise, if you want to measure certain electrical parameters, so the parameter may be a power, energy, whatever it may be which is related to the electrical parameter. So with the help of those meters we are going to measure these parameters. So to measure those parameters, first we need to understand how these meter works. So in this particular course objective, the student will be able to understand how these meters works for the measurement of different parameters. So this objective will take care of that. So next, the course objective 3, that is CO3. In this CO3, once the student understand how these instrument works, so suppose if there is an error in these instruments, so how we are going to tackle those errors, we are going to see in this course objective 3. So here the student will be able to understand how to adjust, how to calibrate the errors in the different meters with the help of some special devices. In course objective 3, so in course objective 3, the students will able to study the various electronic instruments, display devices and recorders. So electronic instruments, display devices and recorders. So display devices, it may be your telephone screen which is displaying something on your cell phone, right? So likewise televisions, so some different kind of display devices, how they are going to work, we are going to check it out. And recorders, so the different kind of recorder, it may be a tape recorder, it may be a certain ECGs recorder, so different kinds of recorders we are going to study in this particular core subject. So all these core subjects are framed in a such a way that these all core subjects will be covered in all the 5 modules. So let us look into all the module wise which all the core subject we are going to cover. In module 1 we are going to concentrate on CO1. So in module 1 we are going to concentrate on CO1. In CO1 tells us what, here we are going to study the measurement of resistance, inductance and capacitance. So the measurement of resistance means, yeah, first we need to understand obviously what is resistance and how we are going to measure the resistance of different components. So there are different methods are there, we are going to use those methods to measure the resistance. So likewise the first method is Wheatstone's bridge method and Kelvin's double bridge method. So with the help of these two methods we are going to find out the value of resistance, unknown resistance. Then with the help of potential, fall of potential method and Megger method, we are going to find out the earth's resistance. Okay, so in next chapter we are going to measure the value of inductance and capacitance. So there are various methods are there to find out the values of inductance and capacitance. So likewise Maxwell's inductance and capacitance bridge method, Hayes bridge method, Anderson bridge method, de Saultes bridge method, sharing bridge method, shielding bridge method. So these are the various methods are there to find out the inductance and capacitance of given apparatus. Okay, so this module 1 will cover our course objective 1. Then we'll go to the module number 2. So in module number 2 we are going to study about the measurement of power, energy, power factor and frequency. So if you want to measure any quantity, they have to be a certain equipment, right? So those equipments are nothing but meters. So to measure the power, what meter we are going to use, what kind of meter we are going to use. To measure the energy, what kind of meter. Likewise for power factor and frequency, what all the various meters are there to measure these parameters. So one by one we are going to study these parameters which we are going to have. So what kind of meter we are going to use to measure these parameters, we'll check it out. So if you want to measure the power, so obviously we know wattmeter, it which is used to measure the power. And energy, so as we know energy meters are very widely used to measure the energy. And if you want to measure the power factor, so there are three-phase dynamometer, tap wattmeter is there, power factor meter is there to measure the power factor. So likewise if you want to measure the frequency, Weston frequency meters are there to measure the frequency of the supply. So likewise there are various meters are there. With the help of these meters we are going to measure these all parameters. So this module number 2 will cover CO2 of our course. Okay, now we'll move to the module number 3. So after studying the various meters for their particular appliances or for particular measurement, so then we need to understand if something happens to those meters, how we are going to rectify those faults, we are going to check it out, right? So the module 3 will cover those topics. So if any error happens in these meters, we are going to check out with the help of CTs and PTs. So CT and PT are nothing but current transformer and potential transformer. So with the help of these methods we are going to calibrate those meters so that they can give the accurate reading of the particular apparatus. Okay, so in this module 3 we'll also measure the flux and flux density of magnetic force with the help of some instruments. In module number 4, so we are going to study about electronic and digital instruments. So it will cover over CO number 5. So CO number 5, what does it tells us? We are going to study about electronic instruments, right? So there are various electronic instruments are there to measure various parameters, such as voltage. We are going to measure with the help of this true RMS reading voltmeter, then digital voltmeter. So there are different types of voltmeters are there to measure the voltages. Okay, so one is true RMS reading voltmeter, another one is a multimeter is there, digital voltmeter is there. So likewise there are various meters are there to measure the different quantities of electrical parameters. So multimeter means it is a kind of device which is, as its name itself suggests you, multi parameters it can measure. It may measure the resistance value, it is also used to measure the current, it is also used to measure the voltage. So one meter can do various activities. So likewise there are various instruments are there. So these instruments we are going to study in detail one by one. So in module 4 is mainly about the display devices and recording devices. So display devices, if you take an example of your cell phone, so it is displaying something, right? It may display the video, it displays some pictures. So there are what kind of display device is employed in that mobile, we don't know, right? So is it a dot matrix display device, is it a cathode ray display or LED display? So likewise there are various displays are there. So if you take the example of television, so in earlier days we used to have CRT TVs. I mean to say big fat devices where TV sets will be there, right, in our homes. Nowadays we move to LED device or LCD display devices. The televisions were made up of either LED or LCD. So most of the televisions now manufactured are with the help of LED display devices. So like this, there are various display devices are there. So how they are going to work, we are going to see in this particular chapter. So in next chapter, the next chapter is of recording devices. So there are various recording devices are there to record the parameters. So for example, in our home we are having an energy meter. So every month we need to pay certain tariff to the electricity bill. So how we are going to know we need to pay this much or that much? So it depends upon the amount of energy consumption of that particular month. Is it so? So energy meter is a kind of what, a recording device which records the consumption, average energy consumption of a particular month. So that comes under the recording device. So if you go to the past days, in earlier days, I mean to say in earlier days, we used to have tape recorders. So in that tape recorders we used to record certain audio clips, right? So that is a kind of recording device. Then ECG, if you go to the hospitals, if you want to measure the pulse rate of the heart, so that time we used to have ECG, right? So which is used to record the pulse rate for a particular period of time. So ECG comes under what? A recording device. So likewise there are various other devices are there. So in one by one we are going to study these devices. So hope it is clear. So electronic instrument, electrical and electronic measurement is a course which, in this course we are going to measure the various parameters. So first we'll start with the measuring of resistance, inductance and capacitance. Then we'll move to the how we are then we'll move to the various instruments which are used to the various parameters such as power, energy, power factor and frequency. Then we'll move to the next module. There we are going to concentrate what if any error happens to the instrument, how you are going to rectify those errors, we are going to study in the next module. So in next module we are going to concentrate on electronic and digital instruments in module 4. There we are going to study the various voltmeters, multimeters, so the instruments which are used to record these various parameters such as power, energy, power factor and frequency. In module number 5 we are going to concentrate on display device and recording devices. So hope it is clear what all the course content of this particular course. So there are few textbooks which are referred by the universities, so you can refer these textbooks and reference books. The textbooks mentioned by the universities are electrical and electronic measurement and instrumentation by A.K. Swani, and a course in electronic and electrical measurements and instrumentation by J.B. Gupta. So these are the two main books which I am going to use for this particular course. Let us start with module number 1, that is the measurement of resistance, inductance and capacitance. So as I told earlier, so in this module we are going to concentrate how to measure the resistance, inductance and capacitance with the help of various methods. Let us see, let us start with the measurement of resistance. Okay, so we'll start with the measurement of resistance. So before that we need to classify these resistances, right? So before that we need to understand what is resistance. So what do you mean by resistance? It is a device which is used to oppose the flow of current. It is a kind of device. What does it do? It opposes the flow of current. So likewise there are types of resistance are there, or the classification of resistance. So resistance are classified into three categories. One is a low resistance, one is a medium resistance, another one is a high resistance. So the resistance value comes under low resistance is in order of 1 ohm or less than 1 ohm. In medium resistance, the resistance value will be from 1 ohm up to 0.1 mega ohm, and the value of resistance under the high resistance is in order of 0.1 mega ohm and above the 0.1 mega ohm. So likewise we are going to classify the resistance value depending upon the value of resistance. We are going to classify each resistance. If the resistance is under 1 ohm or equal to 1 ohm, it comes under which category? It comes under the low resistance. If the resistance value is between 1 ohm to 0.1 mega ohm, it comes under medium resistance category. Likewise, if the resistance value is more than 0.1 mega ohm, it comes under high resistance value. So likewise we'll study each various methods used to measure these resistance. So we'll start with the measurement of medium resistance. So there are various different methods are there to measure the medium resistance. Among them they are ammeter voltmeter method, which is used to measure the medium resistance. Second one is substitution method. Third one is Wheatstone bridge method. Fourth one is ohm meter method. So in this these are the various methods are there. Among these methods, Wheatstone bridge method is very commonly used method. So we'll concentrate on this Wheatstone bridge method. So we'll start with this particular method. Okay, so this is the circuit diagram for the Wheatstone bridge method, which is used to measure which kind of resistance? Yeah, medium resistance. So it consists of four arms: arm AB, arm BC, arm CD, arm AD. So arm AB, it is having a resistance, right? So it is represented by the resistance P. Arm BC, it is having a resistance, it is represented by the resistance value as Q. Arm CD is having some resistance value and it is represented by S, and arm AD is having a resistance and it is represented by R. Okay, so where arm resistance arm AB and BC are called as ratio arms. What they are called as ratio arms, and arm CD is called as a standard resistance arm, and arm AD is an unknown resistance whose value we have to measure. With the help of these all known resistance value, we are going to measure this unknown resistance R's value with the help of this circuit diagram. So when voltage source is present, let us represent this voltage source by certain letter. Let us represent it by capital E. So with the help of this voltage source, so as it is an closed circuit, so current will start to flow through this particular branch or bridge. So once the total current comes at this particular node, it will get divided into two currents. So those currents are represented by I1, I2, I3, I4, and the current flowing through this so G is an instrument which is called as what, galvanometer. So the current flowing through this galvanometer is represented by Ig. So uh, under unbalanced condition, so if there is an unbalance, which means all the resistance have to be equal. So if it is not equal, so this galvanometer will get opened, so that no current will flow through it. If it is a balanced condition, the galvanometer shows zero deflection, so the current will not flow through this particular meter. So let us see how we are going to calculate this unknown resistance with the help of this Wheatstone bridge method. Okay, so at balance condition, what will happen? The current I1 and I2 will be equal to each other. So which means the voltage drop across the resistor P will be equal to the voltage drop across the resistor R, and as well as the voltage drop across Q will be equal to the voltage drop across S. So this is under balance condition. So according to that, so we know the Ohm's law, right? So voltage V is equal to what? I into resistance value. So if you want to find out the voltage drop across this arm AB, so the current flowing through this arm is which one? I1, and the resistance value is what? P. So I1 into P will give the voltage drop across this arm AB. So which I am going to represent over here. So I1 into P is the voltage drop across arm AB. Similarly, which is equal to what now? The voltage drop across arm AD. So what is the current flowing through this arm? I2, and the resistance value is R. So I2 into R will give the voltage drop across the arm AD. So which is that is what I represented over here. So I2 into R. So if you simplify it further, so I1 divided by I2 will be equal to what? Do the cross. So if you further simplify, so I'm going to retain this equation. So R divided by P. So let us represent it by equation number 1. Now similarly, for the arms BC and CD, so we need to find out the voltage across these two arms, right? So the current flowing through this particular arm BC is what? I3, and its resistance value is Q. So I3 into Q will give the voltage drop across the arm BC. So that is what I represented over here, I3 into Q. Similarly, the voltage drop across the arm CD is given by what? The current flowing through this particular resistor is what? I4, and the resistance value is S. So I4 into S. So this will give this another set of values. Therefore I1, as we know, I1 is equal to I3, because now it is getting divided at this point, right? So I1 will be equal to I3 and I2 will be equal to I4. So I1 is equal to I3 and I2 is equal to I4. So if I rearrange this above equation, so I3 divided by I4 is equal to what? S divided by Q. So let us represent it by equation 2. Now compare equation 1 and 2. So if I compare these two equations, so it will be what? R divided by P, which is equal to S divided by Q. So instead of writing I3, I will represent it by I1. Instead of writing I2, I4, I am going to represent it by I2. So which means these two current will get cancelled. So the remaining terms I am going to get it what? R divided by P, which is equal to S divided by Q. So if I simplify it further, the unknown resistance, so ultimate aim is what? So we need to find out this unknown resistance with the help of these all three known resistance. So unknown resistance R will be equal to what? P divided by S divided by Q ohm. So this is the final solution to find out the unknown resistance with the help of what? Wheatstone bridge method. So hope everything is clear. So we'll move to the next topic.